It's the beginning of the trip and we're packing up, loading the canoes and getting ready to go.
You guys are listening to too much rock and roll.
When you're ready. On the count of 3. 1. Hey guys, look up here. If you got your guys, don't ruin the picture.
Say hi to your mom. It's the first morning of the trip. It's 6:30 in the morning. We arrived here about 11 o'clock last night, made camp, had supper, got to bed at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Both brigades are moving right along, going really fast this morning, cooking breakfast, and they're almost done taking everything apart. Departure day 1 on Triangle Lake.
Staff 2. Start opening it up.
It's about 1:15 on our first day. We've just completed 1 port. We've got 3 more to go.
I'm gonna find my car. Freaking bees, man. That's hypothermia. Someone give a sleeping bag.
You ever seen one?
It's cold, man.
Day 1. Our first port. All uphill and it gets worse from there. We'll see as we go up the hill. It was pretty easy up to here because everything was high, but we skipped 2 ports. As you can see, it's hard work clearing the trails. What can be done? It's possible.
Small little ridge. Fucking Mount Everest.
Hey, Doc.
Hey.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah.
No offense, but next.
It's about 7 o'clock in the morning on our second day. We arrived in camp yesterday around 9 o'clock at night. And we are now descending into bug hell. Hello, Penny.
Hi, Mr. Haslam.
Are you having fun yet?
Oh, loads.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's a really easy trip.
Okay.
Come and do that.
And a good morning to you from Parks Lake. We're camped here in our original 1976 spring trip campsite. Major difference being that the lower level was totally mud, swamp, and we couldn't park our tent there, so we had to cut out the new brigade 1 site. And of course, it's been broiling hot, and yesterday, in addition to coming this way, we had to cut a new port over a trail that hadn't been used in 20 years, uphill. Not a great time, but we got here with enough time to spare to set up. We're now off to the other side of Parks Lake, make an early camp, and go ahead and cut the next day's port.
Pretty exciting, eh?
We think it's exciting. The bugs are very bad.
I'm gonna shoot that partridge.
Probably get worse, and that's it.
Yep.
Day 2, campsite.
Hey, Mr. Haslam. Hi, Mom.
Whose kitchen is that?
Darcy.
That's it. No further.
Hey! Far enough! Okay, it's dropping off there. I don't want to be on that. Get back!
We've had a slight accident. One of the students, DJ Abraham, has possible fractured collarbone, so we're using our new satellite phone that we've rented to contact Civilization, and we're going to be shipping DJ out to see the doctor. He might be back within a couple of days.
My new invention for...
Okay, we are now piping out our accident victim. He's on his way to Civilization.
Okay, stop there, accident victim.
Yeah.
We're preparing to leave the campsite, headed out for 2 major ports today.
And the portages referred to for this particular day were of a unique sort. Due to the late runoff and the excessively high water levels, at this point of our route, the portages were just part of the water, period. And what had been a once muddy but generally dry crossing now involved going across a brand new stretch of the river and virtually disappearing into it. And as you'll see in a few moments after that, another similar experience. Fortunately, it was a steaming hot day, and it was a treat to get wet several times over and dry out again.
Whoa! Okay, it gets like really deep on this side. Yeah. Do we kick or what?
Hey guys! We just finished one hell of a portage!
Whoa! Whoa!
That was a fun port.
That is a port, man. That's like a swimming pool.
That was a nice river.
That's an
man.
oversized swimming pool. That's exactly
Look
what
out,
it is.
look out.
My pal
Move.
just
We just finished the first part of a river run through it. We're about to start the second.
Hey guys, come on.
Chunks!
Move!
This is the second and last part of the river runs through it port. They have to follow a port line, dragging their canoe down to the access point on the river. We are still in the rainforest here. We're on the second port, but because of the high
I love Mr.
water, it's turned into another river.
Oh, my girlfriend.
People are falling left, right, and center.
You're on my way, sir. Shut the camera off.
As you can see, there's lots of unexplained sunken holes,
Tell them the storm's coming.
and a storm is coming in on top of us.
through this, sir. I'll hunt you down and all.
It's Thursday. It's our 5th day we've been on the road traveling. It was a nice campsite after that brutal port yesterday.
Hello.
Campsite on a point with rocks. Really appealing. No bugs on it. Speaking of bugs, we have several different types of bug bites to show you. Here's our first specimen, Mr. Arts, an extremely chewed up individual. Unbelievable. The guy must have an elephant hide. Here's a person that covers their belly button, and here's a person who doesn't cover their belly button. Here's what happens when you don't tuck your pants into your socks, and here's what happens when you got a hole in your pants. It's Friday, our 5th day of travel. We had a very long port that had to be cut out yesterday, and we're a little bit behind now. We had to camp in a parking lot by a bridge. So we're trying to depart with great haste this morning to make up on the time that we didn't accomplish yesterday. In fact, the tents are being taken down as the people are still sleeping.
Good. I know. It's on fire. Amazing, eh?
And you'll notice the unusual appearance of the sun in the sky this morning. We are now beginning to notice distinct smoke haze covering the blue sky, and the appearance of the sun is an altogether different phenomenon. Fires are breaking out in the area, and from even far away the smoke is drifting over our route.
Okay, Scott, how to do to staff tent?
I wish, man. You guys want some birch bark? I'll be right back.
Oh, Billy, the one right beside
This is our mascot. Smokes like a fiend.
you. Yeah, that little one. Righto. You want to have me?
Now preparing to depart on our 5th day of travel. We have to shoot a set of rapids first. See them down there? And there's the other side. Sometimes we get to go fishing on Outers. One of us has got one on right now. No, it's that guy showing.
There's the catch of the day. Catch of the day.
Okay, Mr. Arts and Rodents are on their way to explore the Great Rapids. They're off to a good start. And now they're moving out into the main current. Look at that rodent paddle.
What power and grace in those arms.
He's a powerhouse. They're taking their time, approaching the first difficult spot. Good form. Approaching a slightly dangerous tree.
Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
Here comes Johnny Portage's head in the tree. Oh, what a dive!
Oh, they're into the main rapids. What a save.
Coming down the final strip.
He made it through. I want to go right down the middle.
There's our second intrepid bunch, Blair Dawes and Stéphane Boulet.
We'll take a little wider turn here this time. Get that front around. There we go. There we go.
And they're around the tree. Are they?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, tree.
Uh-oh.
Canvas in the tree. Ah!
It's still Friday. We shot a set of rapids and did a short port, and now we're setting up camp, and it is bug hell, as you can see. Just swallowed one. This was a good belly button the other morning, and you can see now that it's considerably worse. Here's another example of the increasing bug hell we are in. Oh my God.
I know. That's from an axe.
You can see that we're all...
People don't want to be out here right now.
You
Okay.
can see everyone has a variety of towels, shirts, anything they can find wrapped around their heads. Well, some of us are tough, bare legs and everything.
And he doesn't seem to care what...
Tonight we're having the scrumptious dinner, commonly referred to as excrement in a bag. There it is. As you can see, even Mr. Arts has a cheesecloth out around his head. The two brigades are setting up their tents in pole formation along the road.
Bugs are killing me.
Here's an example of what happens if you stand around. The bugs cover you within seconds.
Help.
The kitchens are making bannock right now for tomorrow. It will be heavily flavored with bugs.
No, it won't.
There's one of our master cookers turning out some golden tasty bannock. He's good.
Despite the tremendous presence of the bugs, some outers are risking their skin to have a quick dip and get cleaned up.
It's day 6 and some new exciting developments have occurred. Half of students have decided that they can't take it anymore and they're leaving. We're going to progress onward with a much reduced brigade, and we will have a very successful and enjoyable trip. And these are the ones who are heading out. You can see they're avid smokers, health conscious. Okay, we're loading stuff up here, getting ready to take it back.
Brad, did you get your pack?
Canoes are going, and we're going to proceed with 8 canoes. Well, we have our new diminished crew today, and we've ported along a road getting ready to start tomorrow's. And we had an influx of bug hats arrive to help us deal with the atrocious bugs. It's the new alien style In fact, we even have some clones occurring, as you can see. Doc Dean has even picked up a trick from the kids, the t-shirt towel head look. Well, here it is. It's day 7 of our travels. Big pole tent last night for our new brigade. You can see that we're cooking on Coleman stoves now because there's a fire ban in place. We got a new staff member yesterday, Mr. Simonitis. You can see he's not fooling around with the bugs. Household industrial strength Raid he's spraying on himself. We don't like his chances, but yeah, right on the skin.
Make sure it's not paprika or any kind of shit like that.
It's still Sunday, our 7th day of traveling, and these are the first set of rapids we're going to shoot today. We broke camp, portaged to about 3/4 of a mile in 4.5 hours. Pretty good timing. Here comes our first crew, Scott Mackey. Headed for the middle of the river. And now they're hitting some haystacks. Okay, now Stefan and Penny are headed out.
Penny, that's Carrie.
Terry, I mean. Looks like they've got a good line right down the middle. Hitting some haystacks. And it's an easy run. It's our second portage of the day, and we have to go up a very steep hill, so we've got a chain gang going.
Okay, careful with the lamps. We are filming.
Wasn't like that yesterday. Oh shit, it's a lamp. 19.1, 19.2. No problem.
No, take it over there.
Where? Are you sure this cap's off, sir? Holy fucking son of a...
Patrick.
All the way down.
It's Monday, the 8th day that we've been traveling. And we camped in a beautiful jack pine stand last night. There's a portage that leads right from here that we have to cut out before we can progress. And just getting breakfast ready.
Go ahead.
This is the neck of Rodent. We have now dubbed him Rodent, Son of Arts. He's trying to be just like Mr. Arts with his bug-bitten neck. Well, we're moving right along. Everyone's starting to eat. Getting ready for a big port. Well, we have arrived at our campsite on Monday evening. It's a nice wide open spot with a breeze blowing. We've been out of the bugs relatively quite a lot today.
No bugs today.
You can see that people are drying out sleeping bags, trying to get things dry here. We're still cooking on Coleman stoves because the fire ban is still in place. Tents are proceeding.
Let's go get the hippie mug.
Feels so good. I like the compost.
Let's try sucking.
There's an energetic outer.
Oh, this is Miss Perky down there. T's coning.
Miss Crap bumper cars.
It's Tuesday morning and we're getting ready to depart. Rodent is having his breakfast. Show us your breakfast, Rodent. It's the handy dandy marshmallow ball.
Oatmeal and a
Here's our staple every morning, bacon. Not even green and moldy this year, it's fresh.
Pig's butt.
very peculiar light conditions right now. There's a forest fire burning somewhere. The smoke has come down and it's given almost a twilight appearance. It's only 5 o'clock at night. You can see that we're about halfway through a very long port on a road, and we'll be camping when we're done. The second stage of the port begins. It's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. We've finally arrived at camp. It's a nice camp in a jack pine stand next to the river. Tomorrow we should be hitting the highway. This is what we call rodent power. There's a guy getting an early start on a night's sleep.
What a slacker!
It's Wednesday morning. We're making a very quick breakfast and we're gonna get on the river.
Breakfast.
I made the biggest pot of oatmeal this morning,
Here comes Uzi
and
off
I'm
my plate.
so
Look at that.
hyper. It's not thick enough. It's not sticking to the plate. That's when you tell it's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
if
it's
you
the
could
best.
like flip it upside down and have it stick there, that's when it's
See? I make
high in energy.
It's wet. I sat in water. I have a piece of twig pin on in my mouth. Oh, yummy.
Hear no evil, see no evil,
We are evil.
do no evil. The three monkey men.
Evil.
Any words of wisdom, Mr. Arts?
It's too early for words of wisdom. Yep.
That'll be in a few minutes. So.
I should have brought my.
Look what's happening.
We just finished doing the dishes.
Civilization meets the Outers. We're now crossing highway number 11, getting ready to go to Turkey Lake. Well, our fastest port ever, I think. We crossed the highway and we're going in the Sturgeon River. It took about a half an hour, and we got about an hour's paddle to Turkey Lake. We have arrived at Turkey Lake. It's about 8 o'clock at night. There's still a lot of smoke in the air, as you can see. Our campsite is on an old mine dump on a peninsula. It's quite an attractive site. There's Doc Dean supervising the operation of unloading. We're now setting camp Wednesday night. Looks like some rain might be moving in, so people are trying to move quickly. We're still using Coleman stoves. The fire ban is still on.
I'm gonna eat.
We got some fresh food supplies today, so we're having chili tonight.
Kathy's favorite.
language, eh?
The Simonitis clan trying to figure out how to build a tent.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm more mad than you'll ever be, and I'll like that.
I don't think the shovel is the appropriate tool.
Here's the man that's been behind the camera the whole time. He's gonna attempt to try to work finally in this trip.
We'll probably have an emergency, take him home with a hand cut off or his foot. Use the rock to bang the pavement. Over there.
Give me the tiny set. Okay. When it's chilly time. I'm gonna stop moving around now.
We've got high class technology in Outers. You can see they're cutting the frozen hamburger with their latest utensil, the bush saw.
Don't you love the way we get our supplies?
Give me a match.
Oh, you got a match kit?
Hey?
Today.
Pass out lately?
Shut up. Leave Penny alone. Yeah, leave me alone.
fragile.
Want some bannock?
Mm.
I've got a good shot for you, sir.
Oh, come on.
I will.
Holy cow, there's a big one.
These guys are catching crawdads and we're going to eat them later on tonight. We're going to try to eat them anyway. Hold one up.
A second. We're on the hunt right now, sir.
No, hold one up.
Yeah, easier said than done, sir.
Come on.
I'm not holding these.
Come on, don't be a wimp. Pull one out. Grab them right behind the claws.
They're small, sir. Well, wait, there's a big one. Got?
Wow.
This one's got eggs. We're gonna eat them.
There's some people getting clean.
You're starting to smell.
No white whales.
Well, this would be a good shot to show, eh? The fun they had.
It's Thursday morning. We're getting ready to depart from Turkey Lake. Our eventual destination today is supposed to be Paint Lake. We're at Partridge Lake. We stopped here this afternoon. This is Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to get up at 4:30 in the morning and press on for Paint Lake, and hopefully we'll be going home after we get there. We got caught in a big rainstorm this morning and everyone's drying out all their stuff. It's 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday. We get up at 4:15. We're getting ready to depart for our last trip.
We're putting blueberries in our oatmeal today.
I miss you.
It's friggin' luxury.
I can't wait to get home. I'm taking the world's longest bath.
You're gonna take it.
Our two intrepid members over there are folding up the trip banner, putting it back into its proper place until next year calls for it. Our fearless leader, Mr. Arts, is frantically packing. Do you have anything to say this fine morning?
It's beyond words entirely. Certainly a unique morning.
Things are moving right along. Tents are coming down.
Hello.
It's now 6 o'clock. Sometimes even the staff does the work. Dishes are being done. The girls are working hard. Mr. Simonitis is washing his hands. Well, camp is cleared, and we're making haste to depart.
Done?
Hey, who?
Departure. The final day.
Just running up the rear.
Two guys stayed in the car and one guy.
We have arrived at the Kinghorn Bridge, and this is the end of our trip. Everyone's very happy. They're unloading their canoes. The bus will be here in about an hour.
Nap time.
Yes! We're free!
People are just relaxing, waiting for the bus to come. There's the yard of studs.
You're not moving.
Doc's favorite.
Doesn't shine in the bus.
Wait, I gotta.
Oh, he tipped it.
There's a stretch. Draw, Ronan. Draw, Ronan. Draw.
Brace yourself!
The bus has arrived.
Let her turn around for a second, maybe?